All right, welcome inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium, game number 2 for Atlanta United, loading season number 3 for Caleb Wiley. Continuing. Caleb, man, welcome in. Thank you for some time, man.
Thank you
to talk about, just being here, being back inside this stadium. But before we get to that, I kind of want to start at the beginning. You're from Atlanta. You're from here. You joined this club back when you were just, 11 years old? Mm-hmm. Can you remember back to the beginning, where the love of soccer kind of came for you and that first getting that call, trying to go try out for this team?
Yeah. It grew as I got older. I started playing when I was 3. I didn't really know if I loved it. I was just kind of put into it by my parents. But obviously I liked it. And growing up, I played lots of sports. Basketball, lacrosse, football for fun. But soccer was definitely my go-to. And yeah, come around age 10, 9 or 10. I started really locking in and seeing, a real opportunity, and I kind of went for it. And yeah, I got I think it was an email that I got, my parents got from, the Atlanta United saying, you've been chosen to try out, and I had 2 tryouts that I ended up making, and yeah, that was how it started. Yeah.
How much of life before Atlanta United do you remember? You were much younger, like you said, playing a whole bunch of different sports. Do you remember that life, or as really now your entire being and being cognizant of your environment, just being part of Atlanta United?
Yeah, it's a bit blurry, but from what I can remember, it was awesome. I was just being a normal kid, kind of just living, the best life, going to elementary school, hanging with my friends. And then even growing up and going to the first team games when they were playing at Bobby Dodd, cheering in the stands with my family. So yeah.
Do you remember the gravity of that moment when you came for the try, or did you just think, I'm just going out for another kind of practice, just going to go play soccer?
I do. I remember the drive to the complex. I was nervous because there was lots of kids. The best of the best, around my age, from Georgia. So I was a bit nervous, and it's a big deal. I knew that Atlanta United was was going to be a big club. It's a big team, and so. But I was really excited. So to have made the U12 team was awesome.
It had to be interesting too, considering the club was just kind of starting out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? MLS was here, but it was starting here in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. As someone that's from here, how cool has it been able to see this club kind of grow over this time, and for you, obviously being a part of it the last couple of years?
Yeah, no, it's super nice to see. I think, every year it continues. The soccer in the city continues to grow. You can see it with, kids, around the city, wherever, just, picking up the ball and getting to, play with their friends and whatnot. And what I've heard from my family and friends, when they come to these games, it's like no other. And it's a special time. It's a good time to really, connect with, new people, new supporters, and watch, and they always enjoy watching soccer. I love to play it, and so it's always really nice.
Was there a point when you were younger, going through the academy, realizing that this could be like a career? Obviously you just started just kind of playing for fun. You knew what the event was, but I'm sure a lot of the guys that you came in with kind of fell by the wayside and didn't make it at this point. Was there a point where you recognized that this could be your career?
I can't really pinpoint it, but I think maybe around the age of 14, 15. I think growing up, I was, the information and the feedback that I got back from my coaches was always positive, and they always saw that, I could, they could see me playing with the first team one day. So that always gave me, hope and, belief that I could. And then always, the support from my family, my parents. And to be honest, I didn't really have another, hobby that I loved more than soccer. And so I went full gas and no brakes, and it got me where I am today.
2018 MLS Cup final here in this building. You were a ball boy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that moment, being on the field for all that? What did it mean for you, not only as somebody that's a fan of this team coming through the academy, but as somebody that you knew eventually you could be on the field bringing this team to a potential championship as well?
Yeah. No, it means a lot more now that, now that I'm a part of the team. And I always say that I was on the sideline when they won it, and I want to be a part of the team on the field, in between the lines, winning it. I was somewhere over there, throwing in the balls, but I can't really remember the game clearly, but what I can remember was 2 days after when we had the parade, in downtown Atlanta, going through Atlanta. That was truly a special moment. Really just cheering with Atlanta, and that was a moment that I'll never forget.
You got to go on a float, right? Were you on the float? Or?
After the game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What was it like?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going through the city. I mean, that had to be insane.
Yeah, it was. I mean, cheering. It was awesome. It was awesome. I have so many pictures and videos on my phone that I'll sometimes go back and look at. But like I said, it's a time I'll never forget. Yeah.
All right. So obviously, analytics are a big deal in sports right now. Numbers lie. Numbers don't lie. Mm-hmm. You scored more goals as part of Atlanta United, the senior group, more than you actually scored with the Atlanta United too. So does that mean MLS is easier than the lower levels?
Not a chance. Not a chance. I just, I don't know. As you get older, you get more comfortable, more confident in yourself. And with this season, I'm glad I was able to contribute as much as I did last season. And I'm looking to do more this season.
Your first goal, you scored your first goal here in this stadium in your debut. What was that moment like? Can you take me through that goal?
Yeah. So I came on, all nervous, as you could probably expect. But I mean, the what I was told from my coach going in, kind of helped me kind of stay calm and relaxed. But yeah, I got the ball from Marcelino Moreno he got the ball right in the middle of the field and played a through ball, and I made the run behind the right back, and right as I took my first touch, I just heard the whole stadium erupt, and it was so weird because I think some people have asked me did you can you notice all the noise, but in that moment I really did. And
you remember thinking anything in that spot? I
was like, Caleb, this is your moment. You gotta score. You gotta score. But when it went in the back of the net, my heart dropped, and that was really an awesome feeling. Yeah.
How do you even take in that moment, man? I mean, to score a goal in this stadium in front of your friends and family. I mean,
to be honest, I didn't even know how to. Because like you said, I wasn't used to scoring. And so I, even when I scored, I didn't even know what to do for the celebration. I didn't know what to do, and it all came out naturally. And I just, I kind of gave some kisses to the crowd, put the heart out, just to kind of show my love to the fans and how much it means to me.
Have you had a welcome, or what was your welcome to MLS moment? I mean, obviously that goal had to be a big deal, but was there a moment where you looked around and oh my gosh, I'm on the field with all these guys. I mean, this is a different level I've ever seen.
I think it might have been that moment.
Okay.
But it could have just been from gradually getting in games. There wasn't really one game. Obviously, I'm playing with, guys that, once played in Europe, big names. Last season playing against Messi, that's an unreal, feeling.
Pause. We have to talk about that.
Yeah.
What is it like being on the field for against Lionel Messi?
I had some chills. I'm
oh
not
my
gonna
gosh, man, I can't imagine.
It was straight out of a movie almost.
Is he as good as they say when you're actually next to him?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I was defending him, and I'm thinking all right, well, he's already thinking 10 steps, ahead of everyone else. So I gotta think even faster. I got to even be more tighter. So there was one play where I was guarding him. I'm like, all right, stay tight. It wasn't tight enough. And he got by me, or kind of, took a touch around me and then hit a, behind, a ball over our back line. But yeah, he's unreal. He's unreal.
And
Yeah.
can you tell? But like, so it's not just talk then. I mean, obviously,
No.
but
Yeah.
when you're actually with him, is he as fast as in person? Is it
Yeah.
the touch? Like, what is it about him when you're actually on the field that makes him so special?
I think he's just able to read the game so well. His IQ level is very high. And he's one of those players that makes everyone else around him so much better, which is nice to have. I've said that with Thiago, last season, and, we've seen it with his talent and the quality he has. It's he really makes everyone around him, feel, more confident, whether that's for me going forward or in general just playing, so it's nice.
Did you see a difference from Thiago when he came back from the World Cup?
I mean, he was just full of confidence. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's hard not to when you just won the World Cup,
right,
or the biggest trophy in the world. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, World Cup, U.S. men's national team. You've gotten the call before.
Yeah.
What is it like if you could explain to somebody like me who's never been able to wear the United States colors at a moment like that, what is it like representing your country? And same thing I asked you earlier. Do you remember that call, and what was it like in that moment?
Like my very first call up?
First call up.
Yeah, I do. It was my U17 call up. My academy director, he called me, and he gave me the news. And at the moment, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know how to react. Later that night, it hit me. Mm-hmm. It hit me, and I was really excited. But it's always an honor to represent my country, to put that crest on my chest, to wear that jersey, because I know I'm representing, so much. I'm representing my family, my friends, this city, this country. So it means a lot.
It's obviously cool too, because here in Atlanta, they're building the U.S. Training Center here.
Yeah.
If you thought back to years ago, you look at how much soccer has grown in this city, the fact that they're having the U.S. Training Center built here, then of course having, I think, 8 World Cup matches here, including a semifinal. Could you ever imagine the city of Atlanta becoming such a huge soccer hub in the United States?
To be honest, yes.
Yeah.
I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think it helps from. I mean, we're sitting in it right now.
Yeah.
This stadium is something else, and it brings so much. And I think with the World Cup coming, it's only gonna, the growth in Atlanta, soccer, growth is gonna only rise. So I'm really excited for 2026.
It's interesting talking to you about it because, like, for most people, I can be like, hey, how excited are you for the fact that the World Cup is coming to Atlanta?
Yeah.
There's an opportunity for you to actually be on the field during that World Cup. What do you think it's going to take for you to be able to get the final call for that team and maybe potentially see yourself here?
Yeah. I think for me, it's never giving up. I mean, it's kind of cliche, but I think it goes, very far. And to always, stay patient, whether I might not make the next call up, but, I still got time, and I still, can work even harder to make, the call up after that. So just being patient with my pathway and, just having full belief in it.
All right, I've got a couple more minutes with you. I got to ask you some non-soccer questions.
Okay.
What do you like to do outside of the pitch, man? I mean, you're still young, so what are you filling your free time with, especially knowing that you've got a full-time job that you have to still kind of handle as well? You can't be like other 19-year-olds.
I've, 2 of my teammates, Tyler Wolf and Noah Cobb, have gotten me into golf.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're big golfers, so they've been pulling me out.
Are you any good, or?
They've said for a beginner. I'm all right.
Okay.
But it's so hard. Golf is extremely hard, but it's addicting. So I enjoy doing that. I'm not ready to last the whole 18 holes. That's.
Why not? I mean, you're a professional athlete, man. I mean, you should be able to last the entire course, right?
I know. We'll get there. And then I'm also. I haven't gone in a while, but I do like thrifting.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
So fashion's a big deal.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a big fashion guy, along with some of the other guys on the team, which
Where's
is
that
nice.
come from?
I don't know. I think just I don't know. It's just something that I've always been into. Kind of growing up, me and my brother, just kind of going down that road, and we like it.
Yeah. Are there brands or companies that that you kind of gravitate towards with your style? How would you kind of describe your style?
That's a tough one. I think I like vintage, like a vintage look. I like the streetwear look. Okay. There's all kinds of like different styles now, which I really like. You know, you can be so creative with, you know, how you want to, you know, look, and you know, I think that's the, you know, the beauty of it. You know, just, you know, you can dress the way you want to, you know, dress, not because of, you know, someone else, you know, says you have to dress that way. You know, you dress because it's how you like it, right? So, I enjoy the fashion, you know, part of it. Yeah.
When you have the fashion on, where do you kind of go? I mean, obviously you're a professional athlete, so maybe it's a little more difficult in certain situations, but where do you see yourself going when you're here in town, you maybe have some time off? Yeah.
I mean, I always try to dress a little nice if I'm going out to dinner. That's pretty much the only spot, to be honest. Everywhere else is kind of sweatpants, sweatshirt, kind of chill, yeah.
Where are your favorite places to go? I mean, because, well, be careful here, because maybe they might find you at these locations. But I mean, what are some of your favorite spots? And hopefully you're not there at the time.
Love the Beltline.
Okay.
I think everyone does. It's an awesome, you know, awesome area. It has lots of good restaurants. It's always a good time. Where else? I think for food, one of my go-tos is Taqueria del Sol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love some tacos. Yeah. Yeah.
Before we go, got to ask you about the rest of the season. I mean, it's the very beginning. This team feels like your aspirations are to win another cup. Do you think that's attainable? Why do you think that this team is maybe special compared to the other years?
I do think it is. I think because we all have the drive. I think from what I've seen, you know, through preseason and, you know, from the guys that I've known from, you know, the past 2 years, everyone has the want to win, you know, and you can see it when, you know, a game doesn't go our way. In the locker rooms after the game, everyone is disappointed and upset. And that's a good sign. Obviously, you don't want everyone to be happy and smiling, like as if, you know, that game didn't mean anything. And so this everyone is very passionate about what they do, and so I'm really excited for this season, and I can't wait for, everything, because it's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Fashion expert and soccer star Caleb Wiley joining me here. Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.